It's time to say sorry in advance to those millions of Brits who have been freely travelling around the EU, thanks to the freedom of movement it provides, because when we leave tomorrow, we will risk removing the right of free movement around the EU to all those who wanted to travel just like those British Europeans once did. It's time to say sorry to everyone who wanted to live in a united kingdom, because when we leave tomorrow, the chances of the pro-European Scotland breaking away from our own union in the UK will be a hell of a lot larger than we'd want them to be. It's time to say sorry in advance to all those millions of people who work in jobs connected to the EU, because when we leave tomorrow, we risk all of their jobs, their earnings, their livelihoods. And it's time to say sorry in advance to all those EU countries who have the burden of far-right nationalist groups who campaign for a completely divided Europe and will literally do anything to get it, because when we leave tomorrow, Britain may be seen as an example for them to follow, and their momentum may become even harder to halt, and this really could be Europe's last ode to joy. But no, this shouldn't be Europe's last ode to joy. I will not stand for this potential reality, and you shouldn't either, if you care about this country's jobs, educations, rights, freedom and unity. Because the reason we have an EU is not to have a super-state, but to have a forward-looking peacekeeping collaboration between 28 countries. It's a collaboration that not only ensures peace and unity between all these countries, but looks to achieve a brighter future for our world by funding the education and science to achieve not just engineering achievements that would be impossible for one lone country, but the science and education to address the problems that see no borders: pollution, global warming, and climate change. None of this could be achieved without sharing the common values and hopes of everyone in Europe working together to make a better world. So don't be fooled by the catchphrases that try to make you think that this is all controlled by some city in Belgium and that we send too much money to the EU, because the figure of £350 million sent to the EU every week has been proven to be far from true. And although statistics vary massively depending on where you get them, the statistics from people such as Nigel Farage have been proven to be based on misunderstandings and unknown sources. So for the next few hours, you have a choice between following the scaremongering from misleading statistics and remaining part of the hope and ambitions of the future being shared and worked towards by the collaboration we call the EU. You have a choice between total uncertainty and the protection of our rights to free movement of people and trade, fair pay, and the protection of over 3 million jobs that are linked to trade in the EU. You have a choice between a future of being completely divided and a future of unity and the sharing of values and ambition of a brighter future for everyone. And I pray to God that you choose the latter.